San Antonio, Texas. Crossman.
Yeah, we're brainstorming here, folks. We're brainstorming. We are live. So that's a good question. But I know we have a lot of folks. Obviously, we tag DCI, we tag Drumline Battle, and Twitter and all that fun stuff. So there's folks that are just Crossman fans besides Crossman.
So what is this program?
This is the Bones Hour.
Oh, cool.
The Bones Hour. So people are going, well, who's in the studio? Well, let me tell you who's in the studio. The powers to be that are right underneath Maureen are in the studio. And Shelby. Who
made sure she said hello to us all.
She did.
Yeah.
I just picked her up from school, and the big sister took her to McDonald's, and now she's all wired. So I don't know. The big sister's hidden up in the room in
Probably
there.
had some sugar or something.
So true. So, folks, this is obviously the Crossman Show, the Bones Hour. We do it every week here on Thursdays, 1:30 to 2:30. And we'd like to thank you all very much for listening in. Of course, you can find Crossman on Twitter at Crossman. And, of course, on the web, crossman.org. So a lot of stuff to talk about. We're going to let these two beautiful young men introduce themselves. Obviously, you heard Fred. His hair's done. I think he's sponsored by Paul Mitchell for this show, by the way.
Oh, boy. Wouldn't that be nice?
Could you imagine being sponsored by Paul Mitchell?
The one thing that I wanted to point out is we have two Crossman board members on the program today.
Do we?
Oh, three, actually.
There we go.
Myself, yeah.
We're having a board meeting right now.
Yeah, we're having a board meeting.
Oh, my goodness.
It's public.
So, obviously, everybody knows Fred. Big round of applause for Fred. I need to get the sound effect going on, which I'll do here in a minute. But, Fred, introduce who is sitting to your left.
This is the infamous or famous, depending on your viewpoint.
Infamous. I like it.
Mr. Shocker himself, Mr. John Shock, who is a very big Crossman supporter. And I'm not talking about in size. I'm talking about...
Hold on. We're going to do it. There
it is. Nice studio audience welcome for Mr.
There it is.
Shock.
The arena show, the thousands that are sitting in the studio right now. So Mr. Shock, obviously, he is a blessed man like us. We're all God's children. And we are so looking forward to this season. And there's so much going on Facebook and on Twitter and the new rules and all that stuff. But we're going to get into that in a short time because we're going to get into the Crossman news right now because I was over at Crossman headquarters the other day, and we've got stuff that we want to sell.
Yeah, we have 8 or 9 flugelhorns and about a dozen trumpets, gently used, and they've been serviced and ready to ship. It'll make someone a nice instrument. The trumpets, if you're looking to upgrade your trumpet, this is a great way to step into a professional-grade instrument. It'll be probably the last trumpet you ever have to buy, throughout your college and high school.
Yeah, because these instruments are top-notch. They've been used for
Yamaha Xenos, model YTR 8335 RGS for anybody that wants to know.
We're doing inventory right now? Very nice.
And the flugelhorns are the YF 631 model, which is a professional-grade instrument.
Right.
So we have those available.
It is incredible. Obviously, folks, you go on crossman.org, look at what merchandise is for sale because these instruments, we really don't use them year to year. So
we cycle them out.
Yeah.
And for instance, on the Xenos, the trumpets, we received them in May and broke them out of the boxes the first day of spring training, which was last year was May 24th, and used them through the summer. So August 9th, they got put back in their case. When we got back to San Antonio, we took them over to the shop so they could be chem cleaned and serviced, and they're like brand new. And they look beautiful. They work great. So it's at $1,500, that's about half the price of a new one. But something that'll last you forever.
Yeah, and we've always said that they're only used for a season, and they're not dropped. They're very professionally taken care of.
Right.
Obviously, they're spick and span. They're military clean, I will say, because they're so beautiful. Obviously, they're used for performances, so they're not going to be, touched a lot. They're not going to be, there's not going to be a lot of fingerprints on them per se. So obviously, go to crossman.org, see what merchandise is for sale, and then help out, obviously, the greatest world-class drum corps. And I'm biased. Sorry about that, DCI and everybody who's listening, but especially my friends from the Blue Devils. I never heard of you until you marshaled the Blue Devils. I'm just playing with you. But of course, we've got Mr. Schock here, and he has so much to go on. So what's going on with you, sir?
Well, first of all, it's a pleasure to be here with you, Mark.
Oh, no, it's my honor.
And thank you very much for allowing me to speak.
Right.
It's always a pleasure to come to the world headquarters for the Crossmen.
There you go.
Everybody's energized. They're working hard over there today. Can I talk about the meeting tomorrow?
Yeah, we have a nice, exciting meeting tomorrow.
Yeah, we have a scheduled meeting with the Convention and Visitors Bureau for the city of San Antonio. So what we're doing is putting the finishing touches on a joint marketing agreement, because if you think about it, probably the only organization that spreads the good word of San Antonio better than the Crossmen are the San Antonio Spurs. When you stop and think about all the locations that the Crossmen go. In fact, we're working on a business model that it rolls up to almost 1.5 million impressions that the Crossmen generates annually.
Right.
So the good Lord willing and the creek don't rise, we're going to have a really good meeting tomorrow in the afternoon and see if we can't come to a meeting of the minds to where we can create a win-win marketing agreement with the city of San Antonio, to where they'll help support the organization further than what they've done in the past.
Yeah, because that's what I've always put out, and obviously the board directors, we all know this, is we represent San Antonio to the world. Right. I mean, it's not just, we're just Texas' only world-class drum corps. Mm-hmm. We literally are out there to the world. Obviously, the internet gets you out there. The show gets you out there. But San Antonio, and I've tweeted the mayor, I've talked to the mayor in person going, hey, do you know one of the best in the world is right here in San Antonio?
Right.
So whatever we can do to help out, obviously, the Crossmen grow and get the city more involved, the better. And that's awesome. You got that meeting set up for tomorrow.
Well, we're excited about it. Obviously, the groundwork that you've laid with the mayor's office is going to help us. General Dave McElvoy,
right?
He's done a great job helping to infiltrate the organization, and we feel very blessed that we were able to score this meeting for tomorrow. And again, if nothing else, they're going to have a much better understanding of how well the Crossman organization represents the fine city of San Antonio. So, and then, what we're excited about too is the great work that Joel Moody is doing.
Oh, yes.
Because with his master's work and working with nonprofits and all the research he's doing, and I know he's working his thesis on volunteerism and so forth, what we're creating will be a kind of a templated presentation that we could possibly take to other organizations, and we're thinking outside the box of some of the organizations like a Frost Bank, which is from here.
Right.
They're from Texas, just like the Crossmen is from Texas. So there might be a logical connection there that we can talk to some people at Frost to see how they want to get on board with the message that's going around the country from the Crossmen.
That is so true, because obviously HEB headquartered right here in San Antonio, Whataburger headquartered right here in San Antonio. Right. And I'm not saying we're going to give everybody Whataburgers throughout the tour, but it's one of those things that everything can help out, because there's so many companies based right here in San Antonio.
This is an opportunity for somebody with some vision,
yes,
to take advantage of that 9-vehicle fleet as it travels around the country, giving a positive exposure to their brand. And it's two great brands traveling together. The other side of it is even beyond, if you're talking about a professional sports team, or you're talking about, even a race team or whatever, this has the secondary thing, which is our primary focus, which is the mission.
The mission.
The mission of the young people that we serve, and the life-changing experience that we provide,
right?
And that Drum Corps and Drum Corps International provides in general. What a stage that they get to be on, and it's. I've said this before. After a season of Drum Corps, you have folks that eventually go in the military, and will tell you that this summer of Drum Corps was a lot harder than boot camp.
Oh, I can guarantee you that in a heartbeat. A good friend of mine, Troy Hunt, like I said, he listens to the show weekly. Marched with the Blue Devils. His story, real quick, Reader's Digest version. He watched them perform or practice. And they said, hey, do you want to try out? And he's like, really? No, yeah. He's like, oh, I don't know. So he went back to his car and thought about it. He goes, you know what? I'll never have this chance again. Let me try it. Try it out. They said, are your parents home? And he's like, well, yeah, my dad's home. What's his number? So they called him and said, hey, we want him for the Blue Devil snare line. If he can pack a bag, he goes with us tomorrow. It was the day before they left on tour.
Wow.
And literally he toured with them for 2 years. Then he went in the military, 20 years as a snare drummer for the Army. So he goes, hey, Mark, that was the hardest thing was the Blue Devils marching with DCI. The Army was easy. Boot camp,
Right.
So what? That was easy because guess what we did in a camp for DCI or for the Blue Devils? We ran.
Yep.
We worked out. We sweated. A lot of the guys that went in the military, and I'm a military veteran myself, or retired, is they never got off the couch before boot camp. So, and obviously we're moving with the Crossmen and DCI corps across the world. But it's just amazing. We talked about how the artistic scores are higher in school. Your mathematical scores are higher in school. You're just an all-around better student coming from the band or coming from marching band, coming from DCI, coming from the corps.
Music.
Yeah, coming from
the
music.
Impact of music has on your development of that part of your brain, right?
Yeah. And you didn't know this, but he and I are going to have a drum roll competition.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great. And I can't wait to see a snare player face off against a trumpet player.
We'll have a trumpet player.
We're not going to do a trumpet. We're not going to do the trumpet. I couldn't even hit a G or anything right now. So, but no, it's one of those things that we're here. We all love music, and it's one of those things like I'll go to events and I'll play a little bit of the Crossmen while I'm talking about sponsors and everything, and people are going, hey, who is that? I'm like, it's a Crossman. Or I'll put up the banner, and I've had so many band directors and teachers come up to me going, why are you promoting the Crossman? What do you have to do with them? And I'm like, well, let me tell you about the Crossman. And little do I know that they're band directors or they're former DCI or they're former Crossman themselves, which I found in Dallas. But it's just amazing how around the world so many folks know about DCI and obviously know about the Crossman because this is a big year for us.
Right. 40th anniversary. Yeah, we can't wait. We've got a great concept, and the music is incredible, and we're going to announce it within the next week.
I don't know if he knows this, but I try to get a secret from you every week, and you never give me one.
One of these days, I'll slip and tell you. But.
See, I tried to get Joel the other day, and Joel was like, no. I know Fred and Maureen are listening, so I'm not going to say anything.
Hey, Mark, I'm living with a drum major. He knows nothing.
See? Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jordan, I can't say anything. Yeah.
Right.
So, but it's just amazing. 40th year, a lot of folks are going, that's a long longevity of time.
Right.
And obviously a little bit of history about Crossman. You can find out about crossman.org. We're going to take a quick commercial break. And just how fast can you run 1 mile? We'll be right back. Oh, yeah, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. Crossman, world-class drum corps, and I Speak For You radio events want you to save the dates. 13 and 14 June 2014. That's right, the Crossmen, Texas's only world-class drum corps, representing San Antonio, Texas to the world, presenting their second annual 1 mile run, walk, stroll, crawl, whatever you need to do. How fast can you run 1 mile? All information on ispeakforyou.net or crossman.org. I say save the dates 13 and 14 June. The run is on the 14th, but the 13th is their MMX, their dress rehearsal, before they go out on tour around the country. Find out more information again at crossman.org or ispeakforyou.net. Yeah, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. Crossman, World Class Drum Corps, and I Speak For You radio events want you to save the dates. 13 and 14 June 2014. That's right, the Crossman, Texas's only World Class Drum Corps, representing San Antonio, Texas to the world, presenting their second annual 1 mile run, walk, stroll, crawl, whatever you need to do. How fast can you run 1 mile? All information on ispeakforyou.net or crossman.org. I say save the dates 13 and 14 June. The run is on the 14th, but the 13th is their MMX, their dress rehearsal, before they go out on tour. Again, at crossman.org or ispeakforyou.net. I don't know. It's just something about the sound of snares.
Well, see, you're keeping that all to yourself. We don't get to hear what you got your headphones on.
No, it's just incredible music.
Oh, okay.
It's incredible music.
You're not going to share it
No.
with us? Oh, okay.
No, it was a drum feature
All right.
of the Crossman.
From when?
Of course. 2012.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I just love the hits on it. It's just amazing.
Good stuff.
So yeah, we went to Sam Ash. Obviously, I got new toys. I got new Yamaha speakers and all kinds of stuff,
right.
and new telescoping tripods and all this other things. And of course, while I'm over there talking about speakers, and the guy was like, "Would you try these?" I was like, "Yamaha." Would you try? Yamaha. It's got to be Yamaha.
Right.
Yamaha sponsors Crossman, so of course I want to take care of who sponsors us.
Yamaha's the best stuff out there.
They are amazing. And you do have some speakers in your world headquarters over there that you would like to sell, but I'm probably going to take those off your hands, hopefully. But it's one of those things that Yamaha, incredible sponsor of ours, but also they put out the best products.
Yes. Yeah, we rely on them, and the speakers that you saw, you can fill up a 60,000 seat stadium. So they'll probably work just fine for the starting line at a race. What do you think?
Yeah, because I have some races that have 60,000 people at the start line, so those will probably work very well. So, but obviously in that we've got Go to Go Trailways, we've got some incredible sponsors, Remo. So, what other things are coming online for 2014 that people may not know about for Crossman?
Well, we've been tweeting this and posting it on our website. We have a new initiative, Crossman Connection. And what Crossman's Connection purpose is to represent and sell the products that the Crossman endorse on the field, and make them available to all those band programs out there and musicians that we can connect with. And a portion of every purchase goes to help support the Crossman Drum Corps. So it's a great marriage, connecting all those dots. When you think about how many people come through the Crossman program that are going to be band directors, and that they have their own programs and they could take advantage of, the DSI product line that we have, marching shoes and gloves and all the guard gear and those things. Well, if every time they purchase those items, a portion of that money goes to support their drum corps, what a great way to do that.
And then we have iText.
Yeah, that thing's getting close to being the switch being turned on. I talked to Vint this past week, and some great things have happened within their organization, and they brought in some new partners, and they're supposed to throw the switch here within 30 days.
It's just going to be amazing. So much coming online.
So get your phones registered at iText. Use the link on the website and choose Crossman as your charity, and every time you receive one of those deals from iText, which you'll benefit from that deal, it'll save you some money on something that you're interested in. They will only send a maximum of 3 a day,
right? And
more than likely it will be 1 or 2 a day. You'll benefit from that, and all you have to do is agree to receive the text, and Crossman will benefit from it.
Yeah, it doesn't take that long to do. I mean, obviously, even myself, I'm no rocket scientist, I will say, but even I had figured out how to do it on my smartphone and everything. So
we have just under 400 phones registered,
right,
and it could be 1,000 easily. We just have to get people to do it. Take the minute to do it.
Yeah, so folks, go to crossman.org for more information about that. Now, Mr. Shock, I see you over there writing all kinds of notes and everything. I feel like I'm in school and I'm supposed to be writing down something. But what have you got over there on your sheets of paper?
I just want to make sure that I don't repeat ourselves, because as Fred will tell you, I tend to talk way too much.
And I have ADD, so we're good.
So,
let's talk about iText. No.
So I just want to make sure that I don't recover or repeat anything that's already been discussed. I'm really excited about that Crossman connection. I thought when Fred shared that with me a couple months back, the direction the Corps was heading, I think that's so intelligent.
Yeah, everyone. The neat thing was every one of the suppliers, every one of the companies that endorsed the Crossman got it. Mm-hmm. It made a lot of sense to them, and they all jumped on board. So, that's a pretty amazing thing. It's a very easy concept to understand, and it's easy to get behind.
And Joel's already had some level of success
Yeah, he went to visit a couple of high schools, and they already said, well, I just buy this stuff, but no real particular rhyme or reason to it. Well, would you consider buying it from Crossman Connection? And the answer was emphatically yes. So
that's awesome.
That's 2 programs that he talked to out of the hundreds that are out there. So I think it could be very, very good.
Yeah, because we were talking about offline while the commercials were going, that one of the cool things that the Crossman did was the Rangers game. And there's more of those, hey, we want to get involved with the Crossman. We want you guys to come out and do things. So that obviously the Crossman is getting more recognition out in the public.
Right. Yeah, we have a performance that we're doing up in Dallas in support of an organization that's a paid performance. They'll make a contribution to the Corps, and it'll add to their corporate event. And we really like doing those because that's a double whammy. We get to expose who the Crossmen are and the level of performance that they can provide, and then also generate some income for the Corps and help those companies provide a better experience for their, whoever their constituents are. So that's a good thing. We'd like to do one or two of those a month. It would be great. John has been instrumental in getting us into the Rangers. He's made some real connections there. We performed at the last home game last year. I think you said there were 60,000 people there. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it was on TV. I don't know if that gets on the television broadcast, but if it did, I'm sure there were hundreds of thousands of people in addition to that.
Now, I got to tell you, I ran into a business guy that I met last week, and he was at that game.
Right.
And he told me how blown away he was by the Crossman's performance.
Yeah, the quality.
The quality of it. And just to bring us current, I'm 95% sure we have the final home game locked up, which would be September 28th.
Oh, again for this?
Yeah,
wow.
September 28th.
Yeah, I mean, if they want us back, and they were thrilled to hear from John again, and if we could just pencil that last home game of the season in every year and just be
just
the
know
guys,
that's going to be the time.
Calendar.
Yeah, the reason it works,
be a traditional thing.
The reason it works so well is because it is a Sunday, and with a lot of the participants, the members who can perform, they need that date, the Sunday, because they might be involved with the college marching band or high school band or something. Right. So, I've got to tell you, it was just so thrilling to hear. Her name is Adrienne Daly. How excited she was to hear from us,
right?
Because as Fred often reminds me, the cool part, one of the things you don't see when you're watching the performance is you don't know how organized the Crossmen are behind the curtain.
Oh yes,
and the Rangers organization saw that in spades,
right?
And I suspect that they don't get that level of behind-the-curtain cooperation from some of the other performers that they have perform at their games. So she was just so delighted. And in fact,
and that was just abbreviated, though. I mean, I had to cut you off, John, but that wasn't the entire Corps.
It was 25 people.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, if you would have had the entire Corps there, then they really would have, like you said, they really would have seen the professionalism that the Crossmen have.
Yeah, what she was dealing with and the staff of the Rangers were dealing with that day, it was Fan Appreciation Day.
Oh,
and I think it always falls on that last home game. So they're having to deal with all these other things going on, and they could just let us do what we do.
Right.
We showed up on time. We were ready to go. We didn't need anything from her.
No.
They just told us where to go. We went out on the field. We did our thing. So it was pretty automatic for
the
us.
relationship's very positive. And then from our meeting this morning, I guess you're working with a minor league club here in San Antonio.
It's funny. I got a phone call this morning, and it's from the Missions, and they want to. The guy's a drum corps guy. He marched in the 80s. He said, I moved back to San Antonio after being gone for 20 years, and I went on I got a DCI email, and I saw, the Crossman, and that you were in San Antonio, and I just had to pick up the phone. I want to do something. I want to try and figure out a fundraising opportunity for you and the San Antonio Missions baseball. So we'll see what that turns into.
I've announced over there at that facility, and it's beautiful. I mean, obviously they're a team, a farm team for professional.
Who are they now?
What used to be the LA Dodgers? Yeah.
Are they still the Dodgers or no?
I'm not sure. We'll figure that. We'll figure that out.
Yeah.
We should know. It's the Missions.
I know. But it's not like a lot of teams where you can see the connection to the major league club by their name and the logos of their stuff. The Missions are San Antonio.
Yeah, we're probably getting a call from the Missions going, we weren't the Dodgers since the 80s.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
But no, it's one of those things like it's incredible for, like you said, the Missions to reach out and go, hey, I was a DCI guy. I want to help out.
Right. Exactly.
So, and I'm going to look that up right now since you said that. What else you got over there, sir? I know you've got all kinds of written.
No, the other thing that we're real excited about is showcasing the square. Of course, that not to preempt your MMX comments. I'm sure.
No, but the Father's Day event has turned into something really special and continues to grow and continues to draw a lot of excitement. And now how many years? This will
be the
fourth year, and people are putting it on their calendar. They know what to expect.
And to bring you current, we're working with the city of Southlake, Texas, which is up in Tarrant County.
Yes.
And we're trying to, in essence, take the relationship with the city to a higher level.
Right.
So where we are with this is going back to city council and the mayor's office to say, how do we co-brand it with the city, which we haven't done in the past. We've gotten their support, but we haven't co-branded the event. So
which is very important.
That's kind of a strategy we want to implement to get it to the next level. Because once you slap the City of Southlake logo on all your marketing literature, I think we'll have more turnout to where maybe we'll be pushing 200 to 2,500 people at the event.
Oh, wow.
Which would just really add to it. So there's some discussions about time of day of the event. We'll get through all that. But so that's very, very, very important. That's going on. And then the other thing that we just booked is which will be the third annual Crossman Invitational Golf Tournament, which is going to be October 26th.
Which Fred won't tell me his handicap, by the way.
I don't play golf, remember?
Yeah. In a word, it's his swing.
The illustration that I use is I tell everybody, make sure you wear a helmet if you're in my foursome, because there is no telling where that ball's going. I am probably the only golfer that's been able to hit the ball behind him.
Hey, it lands in something green. Trees,
knows what?
bushes.
Yeah. Who knows what?
No, but we're going to have a new venue. We're going to have it out in Fort Worth, in North Fort Worth, near Eagle Mountain Lake, a beautiful resort course called the Resort Golf Club. And yes, I had the privilege to play it, to check it out, to make sure it's up to standard. And they're real excited to have us. And the venue will be even better than it's been the previous 2 years, as far as taking the food and beverage up to a heightened level. So we fully anticipate having a higher number of participants. So for those golfers out there, particularly parents and members and alumni, if you want to have a fantastic day of golf, very value-laden activity, put down Sunday, October 26th on your calendar.
October 26th.
Yeah, and that's right in Gotta Go Trailway's backyard. So
it sure is.
Right near their home office.
Oh, and they have a lot of drivers. They have a lot of. I mean, they have the drivers.
They do have a lot.
They have a lot
of
drivers. But no, I'm just saying they have a lot of a lot of golfers.
A lot of approach shots.
A lot of the drawers. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, we'll get more of those folks involved.
Yeah. Because it's grown every year, and it's one of those like the Southlake Square. It's just awareness, more and more word getting out. A lot of folks coming out there.
Yeah, we get more. We get more and more of the companies that are in the square, the businesses that are in the square, because they see the value of us attracting, 1,500 to 2,000 people there. And if this works out, we just keep growing that thing until you can't fit any more people in the square.
Yeah, then we move it to a football stadium.
No, that's another plan that the master planner has up his sleeve. Yeah.
That's it.
Down the road.
Yeah,
And folks, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We're going to come back, talk about MMX, and then we're going to talk about some rule changes that have come along line for the DCI. And so get your trombones out. We'll be right back. This is Mark with iSpeakFree.net and the Crossmen. Oh, yeah, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. Crossmen, world-class drum corps, and I Speak For You radio events want you to save the dates. 13 and 14 June 2014. That's right, the Crossmen, Texas's only world-class drum corps, representing San Antonio, Texas to the world, presenting their second annual 1 mile run, walk, stroll, crawl, whatever you need to do. How fast can you run 1 mile? All information on iSpeakForYou.net or Crossmen.org. I say save the dates 13 and 14 June. The run is on the 14th, but the 13th is their MMX, their dress rehearsal, before they go out on tour around the country. Find out more information again at Crossmen.org or on iSpeakForYou.net.
My name is Caitlin Hall. This is my rookie year with the Crossmen, and I'm one of the drum majors. I've always noticed that there's something different about the Crossmen regarding the music that they choose to play. Every single time that I'd hear them play, I'd want to move, I'd want to dance, I feel the music more whenever they play. And it's not to say that other corps didn't move me, but Crossmen did every single time because of the music selection, because they're jazzy, because they are the Crossmen. To be here is awesome, and the reason that I chose Crossmen was because I had ties to it. Last year's 2 drum majors, Aaron Sanderson and Hunter Bound, they both approached me at UNT and told me to try out, and I just looked at them and I was like, I'm a flute player, I'm holding a piccolo right now, how can I try out for drum corps? And they said that I could try out for drum major and that they would help me along the way, and they have, and it's been an incredible experience, and the Crossmen has just open up their arms to me. As a drum major, I get to watch a lot of rehearsals from behind the scenes, either running the Met or running rehearsal. And while I'm doing that, I get to watch the staff here, both visual and brass staff. And being able to do that, I've learned an incredible amount about how instruction is given, or just the instruction itself that is given, like different marching techniques that I'm not used to, or the different ways of approaching style of music. And I'm hoping to learn even more about that as the season goes on, so that I can become the best band director or the best person. Each of the 3 drum majors, I think, has something special to offer. Gerard is a rookout, so this is his first year, but it's also his last year. And I know that he's incredibly excited to even have this experience. But it is weird for him because at the end of the season, right whenever he's figuring out how everything works, he's going to be done, and that's his last season. Jordan is the other drum major who, this is his 4th year with the Crossmen, but his first year as drum major. So he already knows everything that's going on, how things should work, and he's been letting me know everything to be expected. Okay, they need to go to rehearsal this many minutes before, or we need to get on the buses now. Just little things like that he's had 3 years of previous experience, and I've had none, that he knows how it's working. And then for me, being a rookie drum major who has 3 seasons after this one, I know that a lot of people are looking to me asking if I'm going to be staying for the next couple of seasons. But I can't see how I couldn't. I mean, there is a family here that I can't leave, and you just don't leave family. If you are here for the Crossmen, you're here, and you're welcomed. The family vibe is completely unique. I've never experienced it anywhere else. I'm glad that it's here. Our goal this year is to be better than last year, not necessarily placement-wise, but just to be the best corps that we can possibly be with these people. We only have this group of people once. Whether it's the best marchers, the best players, the best at loading the buses, the best cleaning the sites. We just want to be the best Crossman drum and bugle corps there ever was.
Oh yeah, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. Crossman, World Class Drum Corps, and I Speak For You radio events want you to save the dates. 13 and 14 June 2014. That's right, the Crossmen, Texas's only world-class drum corps, representing San Antonio, Texas to the world, presenting their second annual 1 mile run, walk, stroll, crawl, whatever you need to do. How fast can you run 1 mile? All information on ispeakforyou.net or crossmen.org. I say save the dates 13 and 14 June. The run is on the 14th, but the 13th is their MMX, their dress rehearsal, before they go out on tour around the country. Find out more information again at crossmen.org or at ispeakforyou.net.
Is it time to talk about the race?
It's time. It is time.
Well, you've been
Oh, sorry, there's snares playing.
Oh.
So anyway, no, it's on the commercial. It's the Crossman second annual 1 mile, which we'll talk about here in about a minute, maybe 90 seconds, because we're going to get into the MMX, which is coming up June 13th. Folks, it is the best time to see the Crossman here in San Antonio.
Yeah. I mean, that whole week leads up to some pretty special things. You know, Crossmen have a new initiative, educational initiative, and part of that initiative are some of the events in and around the MMX. This next camp, though, we're going to have a cymbal camp. So any of those aspiring drum corps cymbal players or indoor cymbal players, they want to come learn from the best, they can experience a weekend here coming up at the end of this month. But during the week leading up to MMX, there's a drum major camp. It's 4 days where the kids come in and learn. They also get an opportunity to conduct the corps. So there's a lot of interaction, almost like there's this incubator going on,
right?
Where they get to learn, from some folks at the highest level of the activity that we do, the marching arts. We also have the experience day on Friday, which we like to have as many middle school and high school aspiring Crossmen there as we can get. They're all usually in band by then and in their high school band programs, and this is a way to learn, from our visual instructors, from our music instructors, and they get to perform in front of that audience that night. And then we will have some drumline battles going on. That's turned into such a great initiative by DCI. The amount of people that are doing this now since 1 year ago today, it's just incredible. There are over 40 international groups that have been formed and are sending people. There's a few of them sending people to championships this year. So our goal is to have a handful of groups perform at the MMX, and we might let the audience decide a couple of the battles, but we'll also have some judges there and just enjoy that activity. It's a fun thing. And then the Crossmen, I also think that Genesis will be able to perform there. At least if they're not marching, at least Chris has told me that they'll probably be ready musically to do that, and they'll have a drum battle team. And also the Guardians. So Jonathan's looking excited. He's getting ready to do that.
Yeah, happy birthday, Jonathan, by the way.
Yeah. And of course the Crossmen will perform our 2014 show for the first time in our brand new uniforms. So
That's amazing. We talked about the drum battle. Obviously, the new uniforms for the Crossmen are coming online. But we talked about the drum battles. And last year was the first time it was done.
It was the first ever live DCI-sanctioned drumline battle.
Yes, and the trophy was gorgeous.
The coolest thing about that trophy is that all summer long, Genesis plunked that thing down near their drum major podium on the ground, like they were planting a stake in the ground.
Like, this is ours.
This is our trophy. Yep. We won the first one ever, and they had that all summer long. They had that thing on the ground and carried it with them as a real thing of pride. And I saw it in over the weekend at TMEA. I forget who, Chris.
Oh, was it there?
Yeah, they had it in a booth somewhere showing it off.
Yeah, because I saw it on Twitter, so I was wondering where they had that at.
And Zildjian, the guy, our friend Al from Zildjian, was the one that actually had the guys in the shop cut that symbol out to look like a Maltese cross, and then we went ahead and took that and had it made into a really pretty cool trophy. Joe.
Yeah, because they actually thought it was part for the kit. They thought it was going in the battery, so they were like, "Oh yeah, this is cool." It's like, no, guys,
a symbol in a box.
Yeah, that's the trophy. That's not for you to put on the snare kit over there. But no, it's amazing because when we do the MMX, a lot of folks are surprised on the amount of people that are there.
Oh yeah,
because we literally packed the stands.
Yeah, I think we had 2,500 people there last year, and it rained. So how many people would have been there? I have to thank our great friends at KTSA Radio because we did some advertising with them during the week and also on ESPN Radio.
And we had Cleto out.
Cleto came out and conducted.
Yep.
Yeah, that was 5:30 in the morning. The Corps was real happy with me that day.
Yeah.
But what a great time. We had 6 or 7 minutes of live television that morning. And then we also performed the national anthem on Flag Day as part of Project Interdependence from the local radio station. So that was a good time with Trey Ware and what a great day.
Trey's awesome.
And really, honoring our military and all the contributions that they make to all of us as citizens for our freedom.
And I know we did a run as my company. We did a run for Boston after the Boston Marathon Massacre, and we had one of our incredible trumpet players from the Crossmen come out and played taps.
Yeah.
And that was there was not a dry eye when he did it, because usually if you hear someone that does taps, a lot of folks, they just rush through it.
Sure.
But you can see the professionalism and what it meant to the Crossmen when he came out and played it, because it was literally heartfelt when he played tap. So It was just how the Crossmen are, folks. They're so in tune with what's going on in the community.
Well, yeah, it's been great, and it's been really nice how San Antonio has adopted us and accepted us as their own. So it's a good thing, and we look to continue to grow that relationship and awareness, grow the Corps and the things that we're able to do within the community. So that'll all come with time.
Yep, Crossman.org, folks. Of course, Friday the 13th. It's going to be incredible. You come out and just watch the MMX. And then if you go on crossman.org or ispeakforyou.net, you see the link for the 1 mile run. Hey, you can walk, stroll, crawl, roll, which Fred and I are going to do. But basically, you get through the 1 mile. We're going to have cash prizes. If a young man runs under a 4:30 mile, he's going to get $200 cash. If a young lady runs under a 5-minute mile, she's going to get $200 cash. First Crossman member, alumni or active, it doesn't matter, is going to get $100 male.
Wow.
First female Crossman, alumni or active, doesn't matter, is going to get $100 cash.
Man, I'm going to really start training now. I want that money.
Get that gas money. But no, it's obviously Crossman 1 mile. It's the second annual. We did it last year. We had like a week of prep, and then we just did it, and it was fun. It was a blast out there. Bagel Factory was there. We got more folks coming out this time. Again, the second annual Crossman 1 mile. It's flat. It starts on the track right there. So Friday night, come on out, get your packet, watch the MMX, come out the next day, enjoy some great food, run the mile, and then and then wave to the Crossmen as they head off on down the road that afternoon.
There you go. And one other thing as far as the MMX is concerned, if you have a San Antonio-based food truck and you'd like some great exposure for your business, make sure you email us. You can send it to joel.moody@crossman.org or to myself, fred.morrison@crossman.org, and we'll hook you up because we'll have a good crowd, and we like to maybe change up the menu a little bit and add some more variety, and it would be great to feature a San Antonio food truck there.
I know some food folks.
Well, good.
Fitness Kitchen, Juicer Heroes.
Well, good.
Come on, folks.
Yeah,
I know you're listening. So, obviously, like I said, come out on the 13th for MMX, do the run on the 14th, wave to the Crossmen as they head out of town, because on the 15th, we're going to go right into it. South Lake, huge performance. We're going to have people in the stands. It's going to equal the folks that are going to be sitting there watching the performance on Sunday. Right, John?
Yeah, it's going to be a real great event. Great weekend. Great opportunity to really experience Crossman.
there you go. Spread the Crossman love.
Yeah.
And you can also buy merchandise. So if you don't get your Crossman gear before then, obviously the Crossman merchandise will be on sale at both locations, at the stadium and then at the square.
Yeah, if you have I'm sorry, John, I almost jumped in there on top of you, but if you have a business in the Dallas market, Fort Worth market, in South Lake, this is a great opportunity to get some exposure.
Absolutely. Yeah, I always get a real kick out of the guys from the Suvi truck that rant and rave about how well they do in South Lake Town Square, after, during, and after the Father's Day event. So it's been really, and of course, that whole thing stemmed from us experiencing the Crossmen on the steps of the state capitol. That's where the whole idea stemmed from. Mm-hmm. We said, man, wouldn't it be something if we could have these guys perform up in South Lake? Oh, and I'm not to put you on the spot, Fred, but you mentioned both Genesis and Guardian. Right. And you said that they might be interested in performing.
They are interested.
Okay.
It all comes down to logistics and how ready they are, but I think that both of them said they want to be there.
Yeah, that would be awesome. If anybody from Genesis or Guardian are listening, we're going to be reaching out to you.
Oh, I'll reach out to Jonathan. I'll definitely talk to him.
And of course, another smaller corps, but they really they do a wonderful job, is the Vigilantes.
Oh, yeah.
They're the all-age group in the Dallas market.
Yeah, and Steve Severance and his gang, they do a phenomenal job. Chris Lyman, who's an age out, top soprano.
Who's listening to the show.
Top soprano. He's been playing with them. I don't know if he's going to perform with them this summer because he's now on staff. Right?
Yeah, he'll be spending some time with us on the road. I don't know what his schedule is. But,
right.
Chris, not to cut you guys off, Chris, every time he's like, Mark, I'll be in town. I want to do a show. I'm like, okay, Chris, I'm not going to be there this week because I was out of town for the last one. So today he texts me, hey, are you going to be at camp next week? I go, yeah, I'll be there. Okay, well, I want to do a show. I'm like, okay, Chris, all right. I know you want to do a show. So Chris Lyman, and a lot of folks are like, and he's on YouTube, one of the big sensations of YouTube, because he's a screamer. And if people don't know what a screamer is, go to Crossman, look up, obviously, Chris Lyman, the screamer.
Is it Earth Song?
Earth Song.
Yeah.
Or you can actually go to ispeakfree.net because I have him playing Russian Christmas. I think it's on the end. And he's just screaming and everybody's just going nuts because I don't even know how he gets that note.
Right.
Well, I just want you to know something, okay?
It's all the drum major I know.
No. Since Chris is probably listening, he played in our church choir band back when he was in like 7th grade.
How did you keep him calm?
Well, see, you need to know back then he made people scream because he was that bad. But now he's going on to be a world professional, a world musician, and of course tonight John Schock can take credit for teaching him everything he knows.
Oh, there you go,
Chris. You can refute that remark, and Mr. Schock's email address.
I'll wait for the text to come.
But I do want to congratulate Chris because he's one of the most newest members of Phi Mu Alpha Sinfonia, which is a international music fraternity that he just joined at North Texas. So I'm really proud of him to join the ranks of us Symphonians. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, he's been doing some work with us at camps and teaching the trumpets the Crossman way, and so it's nice to see people stick after the fact.
Yeah, he's very gifted, and of course he's got wonderful parents, Gene and Mike, and they've been awesome to work with on the showcase and the golf tournament. And I don't know if Gene's listening, but we love Team Lyman, no question about it.
Yeah, because we talked about that, and obviously Chris is giving back to what he loves so much, the Crossman. But we talked about that at the banquet. Give back to what you love so much. Obviously, the Crossman. And no one's making millions of dollars doing what we do. We do this because we love the Crossman, we love music. So when they age out, how often does it? I mean, how long is it before they come back and go, "Hey, I want to help"?
Well, some right away,
right?
And it may be simply that I'm going to come on for a week and help on the food truck. There's a lot of work to be done, and to me, there are a lot of people that want to teach.
Oh yeah,
but the reality is, we could use some help with every other thing we do too. So I really enjoy it when I see people come back and get involved and roll up their sleeves and what can I do? How can I help?
Yeah, because obviously Crossman.org volunteers are everything. They've got obviously a staff called the 151. It's 151 because there's 150 members in the Corps. 151, that's the volunteer crew, and they proudly wear their they proudly wear the shirts 151s, and it's amazing. They even have a flag that fly off the trucks.
I know Scott built that, and they wanted to, because every section of the Corps will stick their flag out of the emergency exit on the bus
Yep.
as we're entering the stadium. And the volunteers, Annie said, Scott's daughter said, the volunteers need a flag. So Scott came up with the 151 concept, similar to the 12th man is for A&M and Seattle Seahawks. And it's really taken off, and people are proud of those shirts.
Yeah, that is cool. And Scott has been amazing. I just want to comment on something that Fred turned me on to this past week, which is this Guide Star, which is a nonprofit kind of a macro measurement database
Right.
that takes a look at nonprofits. And if you get on there and look at the Crossmen, and you specifically look at the comments from members, volunteers, parents, staff, it is unbelievable how the experience of the Crossmen has changed these people's lives, and the sense of the culture that you've created, Fred, that's there,
Thanks.
that of family. And it's amazing. And that's, like you say, none of us are making any money doing this. We're just doing it out of our heart. But
Right.
the reality is, it's making a big difference with people, and that's what I wanted to comment on.
Yep, we were fortunate that the Corps that we inherited had a great culture of family that went back 32 years prior to someone handing us the keys, and we've just tried to keep that intact and grow it. And it's actually been an easy thing to do because of how emotionally involved people are and how willing they are to help.
Oh, yeah.
And it helps that Rick Reedy and all those folks up in Philadelphia are all Phillies fans and Eagles fans.
Yeah, that
That's
doesn't
right.
hurt. Yeah,
That's right.
Because we still are friends. We can still be friends. And
That's
talk
right.
about that
So
stuff.
Vin saying, hey guys, he's saying hi and everything like that. And Vin, obviously, I don't know if you heard earlier, but we were talking about the iText and everything like that. And we're looking forward to that getting pushed because there's so much going on in 2014 for the Crossmen. Obviously, top 15 in the world for the last 2 years, and we're going higher. We're going to top 5. And I always say that and mess Fred. You can hear him laughing in the background. But Fred, I've always wanted to ask you this because I go over to the headquarters. I see those go-kart race cars you have and everything, and I always wonder what was the biggest obstacle you saw coming from a racing background to the Crossmen.
The funny thing is, Mark, when I think about it, I almost feel like we were prepared by all of the stuff that we did in the past to do this thing, to take this thing on. I was on the supply side of the race teams, so I knew what their world was like and what they needed from a supplier. And now the shoe's on the other foot.
Right.
Now I need great companies to help us accomplish our mission. Our mission isn't going 300 miles an hour. Our mission is to provide a great environment for young people to put on a great performance and to get them from point A to point B. You have to do all of that stuff. You have to have your hands on, logistical things and be able to organize. The benefit of Maureen is that she keeps us all in line and keeps us heading in the right direction and is a great logistical help.
She's intimidating. When I see her, I'm like, okay, did I do something wrong? I feel like I'm going to the principal's office or something. She's like, hi, Mark. I'm like, oh, hi. Because
you don't need to worry. She loves you, by the way.
Well, I appreciate
the reality
that. It's
is
mutual.
that she takes care of the details.
Yes.
And she's instilled that in all of our young folks that are working with the Corps and into the staff and with all the young people. And if you take care of the details, things will go really smoothly. If you don't take care of the details, we all know what happens. Right?
Oh, yes.
It will bite you every time.
And it's one of those things like we've got obviously a lot of things coming online. 2013 Drumline Battle came on.
Right.
And that's been huge. I mean, huge response, huge appreciation throughout the world. Because like you said, 40 international teams now are coming online.
Yeah, that and the Sound Sport. Both of those
Sound Sport,
initiatives.
huge. Yeah, come online last year. And then this year, obviously the Drumline Battle is doing good. We're looking forward to a Drumline Battle like no others on June 13th at the Blossom Athletic Center. Of course, go to crossman.org to find out more information about what's coming online. But now we've got...
what we really got to tell people is it's really not that hard to do. It's a couple of minutes, so they can choreograph a couple of minutes, put together a couple of minutes of music, and go have fun with it.
Yeah, and then you don't have to be a core. You can just be like me, you and John, and Vin.
It can be individuals.
Yeah.
It can be a high school drum line. It can be a collegiate drum line. If they can't get it sanctioned by their college or their high school, See if you can borrow the equipment, put together an independent group, and just go have some fun with it. But it's all about getting the opportunity to practice your trade craft and show it off to the people up in the grandstands. That one performance that we did in the Alamo Dome in July, where the Crossmen showed up against Jersey Surf and we did a drumline battle. I was shocked by the number of views when I went and checked it out just a couple of weeks ago. There were 540,000 views of that video, that drumline battle video.
Because this isn't like the movie Drumline. This is obviously DCI.
This is people drumming at a high level. In the case when you pit two DCI drum lines against each other. The thing that went on in Georgia Street during championship week, it was like a big party. There were thousands of people down there wanting to see this thing happen, and they were all enjoying it. We had a DCI meeting, what we call the Febule, an annual meeting with all of the members, the corps directors and the drum majors and everything from the different corps over the course of a few days, and got to speak with the director from Gold from California. And I had forgotten about this, but we were pitted against them during the single round elimination of the drumline battles, and they had acrobats and all this kind of stuff going on. When they got finished doing their 2 minutes, our guys in our drum line just started bowing down, saying, "Oh, we're not worthy. Oh, we're not worthy," because it just got people were tearing the house down afterwards because it was showmanship. It was really a good time. And he said, "You don't know what your kids did for my kids when they did that. Oh, we're not worthy. Oh, we're not worthy." He said it just made them feel really special and important over that thing, and that was just a byproduct of all of that.
See, I can see that. I can see a drumline battle or drumline corps getting with a cheerleading group or a gymnastics group and
putting on
making
a show.
It better. Yeah. Hold on real quick. Folks, we're getting a commercial break, and we're going to come right back. This is Mark with Crossman, and we'll be right back. Oh, yeah, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. Crossman, world-class drum corps, and I Speak For You radio events want you to save the dates. 13 and 14 June 2014. That's right, the Crossmen, Texas's only world-class drum corps, representing San Antonio, Texas to the world, presenting their second annual 1 mile run, walk, stroll, crawl, whatever you need to do. How fast can you run 1 mile? All information on ispeakforyou.net or crossmen.org. I say save the dates 13 and 14 June. The run is on the 14th, but the 13th is their MMX, their dress rehearsal, before they go out on tour around the country. Find out more information again at crossmen.org or at ispeakforyou.net. So, folks, we are going to be closing out here in just a moment. I know John's over there very busy on his computer and writing down all kinds of notes and everything. I'm just in awe that board members here just freaking out, kind of scared. But no,
I noticed we all put our pants on the same way, so it's really okay. It's really okay.
Well, sometimes I'll put mine on backwards, but that's all right. But no, what it is, folks, go to crossman.org, find out more information, how you can help, how you can volunteer, how you can obviously donate, the Fuel-a-thon going on, the golf tournament coming up, the square coming up. I mean, so many things coming up for the Crossman, and we are obviously tickled pink to be a part of it and to get it out to the world.
Yeah, if I can just make one last comment, I think, and we're focusing on this with the meeting tomorrow with San Antonio, is that the primary focus is on youth. This is all about helping the youth, the 15 to 21-year-olds that put their blood, sweat, and tears into this activity. And, I mean, I can tell you from my son's experience, it's been absolutely remarkable. Absolutely remarkable. And you see it from, how it's shaped the Chris Lymans of the world and everybody else that's going through this funnel. And I'm really, really proud to be involved with this.
Yeah, for those that don't know, Jordan, John and Rhonda's son, is the drum major. And this is his second year as drum major and his age out. So we want to make sure he sticks after his age out season. Yeah. But I think mom and dad are going to see to that too.
And that's one of the things I want to talk about, because the alumni that are listening, and I know you are because you're texting and everything like that to me, we appreciate everything you do for the Crossmen, obviously, because it's one of those things, like you said, you give back to what you love so much, and we appreciate all you do for the Crossmen, as well as keep doing it. Keep doing what you're doing, because we're just a big family.
It's what keeps it alive.
Yes.
Is people involved and doing whatever piece they choose to do. Our uniform drive is getting close to being where it needs to be, but it's still a little bit short for folks that would like to drop a check in the mail or make that online donation. That is not a hint. That's not subtle.
No, I'm
right?
trying to get a designed hint out of you.
Yeah, there you go.
You won't give me a design hint.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, hint.
I could have brought you the latest version. I'm sorry. I'll bring it next time.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go.
We're close.
Will it have an Aussie?
The people at FJM are making the prototype now.
Okay.
So the design work is all done. They're going to send us the prototype.
And you're going to wear it into the show?
I will not wear it into the show.
Oh, okay.
And provided that passes muster, we'll go into production. Because this has to be finished by April 1, or else we won't. They won't be done in time. So
right.
The clock's ticking.
So much going on. Crossmen.org, the world-class drum corps for all your incredible music needs. I call it eargasms. It's crossmen.org, folks. You got to go to it. Again, donate. Volunteer when they come through your area. The schedule is on there. Going to the West Coast first. Going to be in Clovis, California, which is where I retired from the Navy. So I got friends that are looking forward to the Crossmen coming out there. And I told them they're not getting any kind of VIP stuff. They're going to have to pay tickets.
You going to ride with us out there?
I'll go out there.
Okay,
I'll
good.
close down. Into June, though, I am going on a 7-day cruise. The parents are saying we're going on vacation. And I said, well, what dates? They go, well, you're not. We already checked your schedule. You don't have any races that weekend, so we're going on a 7-night cruise to Cozumel, Jamaica, all these other places. And I was like, well, thanks, Mom and Dad.
That's pretty awesome.
And, of course, Michelle goes, Mom, why are you doing that? She's because we want the whole family to go together.
Isn't that great? Yeah, we did a cruise as a family, and it is a great experience.
I've never been on a cruise.
It's awesome.
I love the water.
I retired from the Navy.
You're a Navy guy.
No, that was deployments. Those were not cruises. Those were deployments.
Why do they call them cruises then?
I have no idea, because there was no enjoyment out of it whatsoever. 22 years, 16 years of actual at-sea time on all aircraft carriers. I never did small ships. I never did subs. I did aircraft carriers, 16 years.
I've been on a nuclear submarine because my brother-in-law was a captain of a nuclear sub.
Right.
And that's a different kind of environment.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's so, it's really small. Then I've been on an aircraft carrier because my dad was in the Marine Corps, and that's like a city.
Oh, it's
unbelievable.
It is 5,500 people, and we can stay out there for months, in which I have. I think the longest time I actually stayed at sea was 4.5 months.
Yeah, unreal. And they don't have to refuel during that time.
Nope.
And, they're just fun. Ready to go.
And of course, we pulled in Australia after 4.5 months, and that was probably a not good thing to do. So, but yeah,
Australia never forgot it, huh?
They were like, "Stay away from the Navy people. Stay away from those Americans." But no, again, folks, thanks for listening. Crossman.org. Follow them on Twitter at Crossman. Find out what's going on. Again, volunteer, donate where you can, help out. Every Thursday here at 1:30 to 2:30 Central Time, or we call it Texas time or Crossman time. Listen in, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your servers at dinner tonight. They've got to donate to the Crossman and come listen to us every week. Fred, thanks for coming in, my friend.
Thank you very much, Mark. It's always a fun time to talk about Crossman.
I'm telling you, we'll get to that drumline battle here with John here pretty soon. John, thanks for coming down.
My pleasure. It's an honor to be here, and great to see you, and the enthusiasm that exudes from you is
I'm telling you,
awesome.
I'm always giddy. The first time I called Fred, I was like, I'm really talking to Fred of the Crossman.
And you know what? It's contagious, isn't it?
Yeah.
You leave these little episodes feeling better than you started.
See, what I do is when I go see the mayor, I'm going to challenge him to a drum roll.
There you go.
And I'm like, if you win, you get to go to the MMX. If I win, you're going to the MMX. So either way, the mayor's got to go to the MMX, right?
I like that.
Yeah. There you go. He'll
That's
be
a great
actually,
idea.
I'm doing a race on Saturday, in all seriousness, real quick. It's a rape crisis run. It's about rape survivors or sexual abuse survivors. There's a young lady. She was 2 years old when she was raped and sexually abused. She's now 15. She's going to be out there running. She's my guest speaker or co-host, and the mayor's going to be out there. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to say, hey, Mayor, come here. I got something for you. So we're going to talk to him real quick. But again, folks, crossman.org. Thank you so much for listening in and everything. God bless you guys. Take care. And those who are in the snowy weather, please, please, please take care of yourself up there.